We begin this deep dive in the heat of an Egyptian summer, August 2020. Picture a sleepy, quiet suburban village outside Giza. It's early Wednesday morning.
Right, the usual sort of slow rhythm starting up.
Exactly. But this morning, something's off. There's this strange absence. Saber, a contractor, known for being punctual, he just didn't leave for work.
And that specific detail, his routine, that's the immediate red flag, isn't it? Saber wasn't a guy who missed a day.
No.
He was successful, a foreman, very meticulous, left home around 8 a.m., back like clockwork between 5 and 6 p.m.
So when his brothers, who actually lived right nearby, tried calling him, nothing. Phone's dead.
Yeah, that's when the real alarm bells must have started ringing.
So they walk over next door to their brother's place, and they find his wife, Abeer. And this is maybe the first really unsettling thing. She was just unnervingly calm.
Just calm, despite her husband being missing.
When they ask, where's Saber, she gives this really minimal answer. He left at 8, hasn't come back. Simple as that.
But then, almost immediately, she shifts. It's this moment of calculated misdirection. She doesn't show worry, she shows suspicion.
Towards them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Abeer suggests Saber must have secretly remarried, and that the brothers, his brothers, were somehow in on it, part of what she called the film, like some big deception.
It's just pure deflection, and it really underscores, the years of conflict, the bad blood there.
Absolutely.
His brothers knew the marriage was troubled, so they don't rush. They actually wait 2 days until Friday.
And they check with his work first.
They do. They confirm he missed Wednesday and Thursday. Then they finally file the official missing persons report.
Okay, and this is really where we need to frame this whole story. Because this isn't just about betrayal, is it?
No, it's much darker.
What we're looking at here is what I'd call compound treason. It's not just, a wife betraying a husband. It's the sheer calculation involved.
Awesome.
Well, she had to systematically recruit and convince 2 other family members, her own teenage son and the victim's nephew, to take part in a planned murder and cover-up. She essentially engineered this generational conflict, all for profit. It's chilling.
Okay, let's unpack that. We need to go back, way back, 17 years, to understand how things got to this point.
Right.
So the year is 2003 in Nahia, Kurdasa. Saber was kind of the classic self-made man. Started as a simple worker, but he had huge ambition.
Yeah, wanted to be a major contractor, own a big house, be respected in the community, the whole package.
And he largely got there. At 26, he married Abeer. Apparently, he was mainly attracted by, her appearance and her reputation at the time.
Which suggests the foundation might have been a bit shaky from the start, right? Marrying her for how she seemed, maybe not for who she really was deep down.
And the conflict, it seems, was immediate and constant. Abeer complained all the time that Saber was absent, working too much.
Even though he was home by 6 p.m. every day.
Pretty much. Meanwhile, Saber had his own complaint, a more personal one. Her neglect of her personal appearance, her hygiene.
And this is a really crucial point of tension. Because these weren't just small arguments that blew over. They festered for more than a decade.
And whenever he brought up the hygiene issue,
she deflected. Instantly accused him of looking for another woman. You see that pattern. Turning his criticism back on him with an accusation of infidelity. It's classic manipulation.
That really sets the stage for later. Okay, fast forward 10 years. They have 3 children by now. Saber's done it. He's achieved his dream.
The big house.
Yeah, a beautiful 3-story house in his neighborhood. It was like the symbol of his success. He was known locally as honest, hardworking.
Abeer. What were the neighbors saying about her?
Well, the perception was different. Increasingly greedy, materialistic, maybe obsessed with status.
So the cracks are widening. And then in 2015, the marriage finally breaks. Saber initiates a divorce.
And this is where that compound treason, as you called it, really starts to take root. During the Ida, that 3-month waiting period after a divorce is initiated.
Right, where they're separate but still technically married.
Abeer didn't just, move on. She actively weaponized that time. She started relentlessly poisoning the children against Saber.
How specifically?
Telling them their father had abandoned them, that he was going to kick them out of the house eventually, take away their inheritance. Really planting seeds of hatred and entitlement.
God, that's awful. And the absolute tragedy is he took her back.
He did. She had this brief second marriage. Apparently, it failed after just a year.
And let me guess why.
The exact same issues Saber had complained about. Cleanliness, hygiene.
Unbelievable. So after that failed marriage.
Family, neighbors, they all pressured Saber. Think of the children, He had 4 by then. So late 2016, he agrees. He basically resigns himself to misery just to keep the family unit intact on the surface.
Enduring it.
Just enduring.
Yeah.
Which brings us right back to August 2020. The emotional groundwork, the rot, it's all there. And now the actual crime begins. Police arrive on that Friday.
And Abeer. Still come.
Oh, yeah. Very calm, very organized. Her story is rehearsed. She sticks to it. Saber left Wednesday, 8 a.m., hasn't been seen since.
But the police pick up on something else, right? The brothers.
Exactly. The detective notes this heavy, almost palpable suspicion coming from Saber's own family. They keep pushing. Look at their history. They fought constantly. This isn't right.
And that family insistence, that gives the detective the push, the motivation to dig just a little deeper than maybe he otherwise would have.
And that digging leads to the huge break. The detective spots something tiny, almost out of place in this village. A surveillance camera.
Which is rare in that kind of residential area, I imagine.
Very rare. It was on a local shot, but it happened to cover the entrance to Saber's Street. A massive stroke of luck, really.
And the footage, what did it show?
It just blew Abeer's story apart.
Yeah.
They review it on Friday, and it confirms 3 devastating things. 1, Saber definitely came home Tuesday evening, 6 p.m.
So he was home Tuesday night.
2, he never left the house on Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. or any time after that. He was already gone by then.
Oh, man. And the third thing.
The third thing revealed the conspiracy in chilling detail. A young man is seen entering Saber's house at 9 p.m. on Tuesday night.
Okay.
But then the really bizarre, horrifying part. At 2 a.m. Wednesday morning, the camera captures Abeer and her 16-year-old son, Mohamed.
Her son.
Her son. They're struggling, really struggling, to load this incredibly heavy, awkward object, a mattress, onto a small transport cart, a tuk-tuk, sometimes called a tricycle, and then they just drive off into the darkness with it.
A mattress containing him. It's just unbelievable. A mother and son trying to dispose of the body like that. So desperate.
The police immediately start following this bizarre trail, tracking the mattress using any street cameras they can find.
Where did they take it?
The footage showed Abeer and Mohamed drove quite a distance out to a remote area in Dashur. They dumped the mattress in this filled-in irrigation canal. It's called a Terra Marduma.
Thinking that was it. Job done.
They must have, believing the evidence was hidden, gone for good.
But it wasn't there when the police got to the ditch.
No, the mattress was gone. So more camera work. They trace movements around the dump site after Abeer and Mohamed left, and they find it. About an hour after the tuk-tuk left, a half-truck shows up. It loads the mattress and drives off. Destination unknown at first.
A half-truck. Whose was it?
It belonged to Walid, and suddenly all the pieces click into place. The identities of everyone involved are clear.
So the young man seen entering the house at 9 p.m. Tuesday.
That was Walid, Saber's 38-year-old nephew, his own sister's son.
His nephew. And the boy helping Abeer with the mattress.
Mohamed, Saber's own eldest son, just 16 years old.
Wow, the nephew and the son. That brings up Walid's background, doesn't it? He'd just gotten out of prison.
Yeah, served 6 years, armed robbery, attempted murder.
So, you have to wonder, was that criminal history a red flag for Abeer? Or was it actually part of the appeal? Did she see him as, like, a necessary tool for what she wanted to do?
It seems like the latter. His history might have made him exactly the kind of person she thought she needed. So the police call them all in. Abeer, Walid, Mohamed, together.
Can you imagine the tension in that room?
Must have been electric. Abeer apparently tries one last time, sticking to the script, asking, "Did you find Saber?"
But the act is up.
Completely. The moment they show her the security footage, her and Mohamed struggling with that mattress in the dead of night, her whole demeanor just shatters. Instantly, she confesses everything.
And the motive. It comes back to that compound treason idea.
Exactly. Walid, the nephew, had started an illicit affair with Abeer, his uncle's wife. Been going on for about 4 months.
And Walid wanted to marry her.
Yeah, but obviously she was still married to Saber, his uncle.
Okay, but the son's role in this. Mohamed. That's just horrifying.
It really is. He was only 16, but he was fully aware of the affair, and he accepted the murder plan. Why? Because of that deep, almost institutionalized hatred for his father that Abeer had spent years building up.
So he wasn't just aware, he was actively involved in the planning.
Even pushing for it. When they discussed options, apparently Mohamed argued that divorce wasn't enough. Death was the only way to guarantee they'd get the inheritance, specifically that valuable house.
Wow. The son advocating for murder to get the house.
It was about permanent financial security, achieved through killing his own father. Abeer backed this up, promising both Walid and Mohamed substantial cash from selling the house later.
Did Walid trust her?
Apparently not entirely. He demanded 25,000 Egyptian pounds up front, partly for himself, partly to fund the whole operation, the murder, the disposal.
So this wasn't spontaneous. This was meticulously planned. How did the actual execution go down?
Horrifyingly calculated. It unfolded over a few days. First, about 3 days before, Abeer convinces Saber they have to buy a new mattress. Says the old one is ruined.
Setting up the container for his body.
Exactly. Then, Tuesday evening, Abeer puts a massive dose of sleeping pills in Saber's juice. Lethal amount.
Knocks him out completely.
Right. Around midnight, Walid arrives. Saber's unconscious. Walid then stabs him in the chest. And then, just to be absolutely sure, he follows up by strangling him.
Brutal confirmation.
Yes.
And the concealment.
Swift. The three of them, Abeer, Walid, Mohamed, they cut open the old mattress, put Saber's body inside. He was apparently quite small-framed, and then sealed it back up.
And then Abeer and Mohamed did the initial dump run we saw on camera.
Yes. And after they left the ditch, Walid came back with his half-truck to collect the mattress.
Okay, so where did he take it? What was the final step?
This shows incredible premeditation. Walid drove the truck to a cemetery. He found a gravedigger and paid him 5,000 EGP to illegally break open a family vault, a tomb.
Unbelievable.
They put Saber's body, still inside the mattress, into this tomb, and then Walid seals the tomb himself with a brand new padlock.
And gives the key to Abeer.
Gives the key to Abeer, like a final macabre symbol of the security they thought they'd achieved.
So the police track down the gravedigger.
They do. They exhume the body. Forensics confirms the whole sequence, the huge dose of sleeping pills, the stab wound, the signs of strangulation. It was exactly as confessed, a complete cold-blooded plan.
And the legal outcome.
Abeer and Walid were sentenced to death, premeditated murder. Mohamed, because he was only 16 at the time, faced different proceedings as a minor.
But his willing participation, his consent, it's still central to the horror of this crime.
Absolutely.
And the implication here, it really circles back to that total collapse of the family unit, doesn't it? All for money and an affair. Abeer's manipulation is just staggering. It wasn't just her lover. She corrupted kinship itself.
Yeah.
Convincing a nephew to kill his uncle. Convincing a son to participate in murdering his own father. All for greed, for control of property. That level of psychological groundwork, that's the core of this compound treason.
You know, this whole deep dive, it started with just the facts of a missing person case. But it really ends with thinking about those years, those long years of emotional abuse.
All those little betrayals.
Yeah, the constant nagging, the flawed marriage from the start, the systematic poisoning of the children's minds against their father. It feels like all those small erosions of trust just accumulated, didn't they? Piling up until they somehow paved the way for this final massive act of calculated violence.
It leaves you wondering, doesn't it? When greed and that level of betrayal fester for so long within a family. Is this kind of horrific outcome, this compound treason, somehow inevitable? Or is it just the most extreme, calculated possibility? It's a chilling thought to end on.